And we talked about it, but I knew she really wouldn't do it because we don't do these things for ourselves. Like there has to be a motivator.
Yes.
There's got to be something that drives us
Yeah.
to do that. We know the things to do. We don't need information. What we need is the oomph behind the action.
Yes.
And we need to find that oomph.
Speak Easy Studios. Speak and be heard.
Welcome to the studio at 1201, where we are bringing you interesting conversations with entrepreneurs, creatives, leaders, and world changers to impact and inspire. Let's connect. So make sure to subscribe, rate, and review with all the stars. And most importantly, remember you belong here. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the studio at 1201, powered by Speakeasy Studios. Don't forget it. And this is Conversations with. My name is Jeanette Brown, and I am here with the one and only Kelly Olive. What's up, Kel?
Hey.
Hello.
It's a good day.
Another conversation.
I love interesting conversations.
Me too. Well, we are not just here by ourselves, but we are here with a very special guest. Kelly, who do we have in the other chair?
We have another very interesting person, Wendi Weiss, and she is an author, a speaker, and a coach.
Ooh.
And can I tell you, she's many other things. She produces a podcast. She just, I can't even get it all out, and I'm looking forward to everybody getting to know you better.
So welcome,
Yes,
Wendi. How
I
we
love
doing?
it. Oh, I love the studio. How
Thank
great
you.
it is to be here with the two of you.
We're
Thank
very
you.
proud of it. Yeah. So can you expand, because we know you wear many hats, including some really exciting things upcoming here with 1201. So how would you summarize what it is to be Wendi?
I love that, what it is to be Wendi.
Good question. That's a good question. I would say that I'm an entrepreneur that is passionate about making impact in the world through using your voice,
Oh, I love
sharing
that.
a
Yes.
message, and
So
getting your
good.
story out there. A lot of different vehicles to do that.
Absolutely. Stories are just
It's
continue
just
to
this
be
thread, yes.
this undercurrent of this place, which is
Yes.
amazing, and every person that sits in this chair.
Because we all
That's-
have one.
Yeah, that's very cool. So let's talk a little story then. So Wendi, we know that what life looks like now was not always what life looked like for you, right? Can you just take us on the journey a little bit? Take some time and tell us how you got to here and all the exciting things that you're doing. What did life look like back in the day?
I love this conversation and talking about timelines. If
Yeah.
you take your life and you put it down and you break it down into different generations. So I love looking backwards and then where we are today and where we want to go. But
Yes.
where we've been really matters.
Come on,
Yes.
come on.
Oh my goodness. All right. I'm not going to start at birth. I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
You know, I'll take you back to really my career first. And somehow by happenstance, I ended up in the pharmaceutical industry.
wow.
And I don't know why. I don't know how. I just met somebody and that's what she did. A light bulb went off and I said, I want to do that. So I started looking online a lot of years ago. I won't say exactly how many years ago.
Nobody would believe you anyway.
A lot of years. And I built my career there. But I always felt like that was so interesting. I would observe myself in a conservative industry and I would think this didn't really kind of add up to what I saw in my life. I was really working with the left side of my brain in that industry, but I always felt like I had this right side that I really wanted to dive into creativity and all that. But I just kind of put that away and went on my merry way and had my career until something happened. So there's always that, what
yes.
happens? What's the
Right.
catalyst
Yes.
for change? And you don't, one of my favorite sayings is you don't know what you don't know.
Oh, me too. Yeah. I just used it yesterday.
Put that on a T-shirt,
Yeah.
which we'll talk about soon.
Speaking of T-shirt.
Yes.
Speaking of T-shirts. And that's really what happened. Speaking of T-shirts, is I started to question my life.
Yeah.
And when you go through a difficult patch, we all have them. We all have a lot of them.
Of course, yeah.
I was going through a difficult patch, and I was a single mom. I was just questioning a lot of things in my life, and I just needed an outlet for fun and creativity because everything felt really heavy.
Yes.
And I started putting these messages on T-shirts, inspirational messages, around this one idea around what is your destiny. And I just started talking to somebody at the gym about destiny, and that's where that question popped up. And from doing that, it made me happy. It was fulfilling a part of me, so I wanted to do it more. And then I started to want to share them, and people liked them, and I started selling them like at, a synagogue, a church, at an event. And from that, it morphed into being my very first book. And I would have never imagined that would happen.
Wow. Here is a lesson for you. You need to have more conversations with people. Two huge life changes just from a conversation with somebody. That is amazing. So you are doing so much more than just the T-shirts now. So you wrote your first book after the creating this business, basically.
I don't know. I think that there's a little part of that story between the T-shirts that was really pivotal when you started going from the T-shirts. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Absolutely. Well, the T-shirts.
Give us the
I was obsessed.
T-shirts.
I was completely obsessed with the T-shirts. And we started sending them out. I hired somebody that knew how to do some PR, and we sent them out to some celebrities in California, and they started wearing them.
Oh, wow.
Lo and behold, I was blown away by that the first time that they were seen on The View or Chelsea Lately or like all these other Entertainment Tonight. It was really blowing my mind. So that was part of the story. And then the other part of the story was people started asking me for advice. And that was really interesting because the messages on the T-shirts were, my destiny is to be, well, these are all the things that I wanted in my own life that I felt were missing and that I was working on developing. So my destiny is to be strong, powerful, courageous, and fearless. And then I would like put the T-shirt on and like, and other people would tell me they would put the T-shirt on and people started asking, well, how do you do that? I'm like, I don't know. You just repeat it over and over and over to yourself, and by osmosis,
you begin to believe it.
Yeah. So that is really the piece that started, and it opened doors for me to start speaking about this topic, topic.
Amazing. Yes.
So you are a speaker. That's what one of the things Kel introduced you as. And so what is the transition from from T-shirt to speaker to book to all the other things that you're doing now? How it sounds like it just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew.
I would say the number one thing, I had to grow. There were a lot of missing pieces inside of me, and I was working on my own personal development. It's one thing to say you're strong, powerful, courageous, and fearless. It's another thing to be filled with fear. And I had a lot of insecurities, anxiety, depression, and I started to work on myself. And as I was writing those messages, it really was seeping into my consciousness and my awareness. And I started to learn about mindset, and that wasn't really anything that I had thought about or worked on before, that you can actually really go in and reprogram your mind. So that was a really important piece. I felt like an imposter. Somebody would ask me to talk about it. So I was very transparent. I was like, all right, I'm just figuring this out. I wrote my mission statement. I framed it. I carried it with me when I was with my security blanket. I would look out at the audience and think, oh my goodness, why would they want to listen to me? But because I saw some profound changes in my life, that became my why. And I was no longer I wasn't doing it to be a speaker or to be an influencer or any of those things. That was not it at all. My life was really being enhanced. And because of that, I wanted to help other people that felt stuck like me in their life, that felt like they were imposter and had this, insecurity going on inside of them. And that's why I did it. That's why I became a speaker.
Wow.
That's fantastic. That's wonderful. I would love to really talk a little bit about the pathway, the thing that brought you to being an author, and the importance that the important thing that you like to convey about the importance of being an author.
Well, I believe that we all are authors and Picassos and musicians of our own lives.
Absolutely.
And we have to write. It's communication. It really boils down to the human connection with each other.
Yes.
Books have changed my life. I have goosebumps even saying it. And hearing somebody share a story, whether it's just one-on-one, you're having a cup of coffee, or whether you're sitting in an audience and listening to a speaker. And anytime you don't know where you're going to hear a message, like it's designed specifically for you.
Yeah.
And that is why I'm passionate about all those platforms. Because, again, we don't know what we don't know.
Right.
And we don't know when a message is going to come or how it's going to come. Maybe it's going to come on a T-shirt. Maybe it's going to come from a book. Maybe it's going to come from somebody speaking it out or speaking it over you, like before you believe it for yourself, that they hold that vision, that it's possible for you. And I know that to be true for everybody because, for me, later in life, at 50, all this happened later in life.
Wow.
And continues to happen now in my 60s, that it's never too early and it's never too late to step into your dream, your passion, or the next highest, best version of yourself.
Can you say that again?
That is incredible.
Yes, it's never too early.
It's never too early and it's never too late to tap into your passion, to your gifts, to your uniqueness, to serve, to make a difference, to change your life, to change other people's lives.
Somebody needed to hear that, so we had to repeat it.
Yes, I got chills on that one. That's what your message is so important, and it's so needed, and everybody these days feels like an imposter sometimes. I can't imagine the impact that you've had. Do you have any little nuggets or stories of change you've seen in other people, or like a standout moment that really just touches your heart from the ripple effect of your message?
Oh, yeah, of course. So I'll start with early on. So early on before I became a business coach.
Yeah.
So I left the pharmaceutical industry and
get out of there. That wasn't for you.
All the things.
Yeah.
All the things. But I worked as a wellness coach, and I really appreciated the medical field because I had doctors that opened up their clinic and provided a space for me.
Wow.
And referred people to me for mindset or behavior changes as a wellness coach.
Yeah.
And I remember one of my very first clients came in, and she was a mom, and due to health reasons, she was referred by her doctor that she was seeing me to get her health to the next level. And we talked about it, but I knew she really wouldn't do it because we don't do these things for ourselves. Like there has to be a motivator.
Yes.
There's got to be something that drives us to
Yeah.
do that. We know the things to do. We don't need information. What we need is the oomph behind the action.
Yes.
And we need to find that oomph. And with her, I asked her to tell me about her life. Did she have kids? What really drove her? And she started talking to me about her 19-year-old son. And then I asked her to go forward. And we don't do this a lot. We look in the rearview mirror.
Yes.
I asked her to go forward 10 years where he's 29 or 20 years where he's 39. And you see him married and you perhaps even grandchildren. You want to be there, right? So I started to actually paint a picture that you're there, that you're there at his wedding, that you're there for his family, that your family is growing, that you have all these experiences together. Now, what do you need to do today to ensure that you're going to be there for all those phases and stages of his life? And then her facial expression changed. Goosebumps again. I get teary-eyed when I think about this. And she said, okay, I have to do this.
Yes.
I have to take charge of my health
Oh,
because I know I am a role model for my son, and he's watching and he's seeing, and I believe that I can do this. If we can do this together, you'll support me with this. See, we are people that need other people.
we
And
need community.
We
Yes.
do. We
Yes.
need each other.
Yeah.
We need someone to say, you've got this. When we barely can get ourselves up off the floor, or somebody that can see our blind spots, or someone who has a resource
Yeah.
for us and said, here's a resource.
Yes.
And that's what we need. And that's what I am most passionate about. So that's one story. P.S. 6 months later, she lost like 80 pounds. She got really
Wow.
excited about her life, and her relationship was growing with her son. And she felt so proud and more confident with herself. So whenever we take charge of an area of our lives, it's going to overflow to the people around us as well.
So good. So good. That's so inspiring. I love it's that was another conversation that you were able to have with her that helped be an impetus to her really changing her life.
Gave her passion back, her life back. That's so nice. I love that.
You're feeling all the feels
I'm
today,
feeling
aren't
all
you?
the things. All the things.
Well, that's great. Well, I would love to hear a little bit about you do a lot of events, and you have some events coming up, and I wanted to see if you would like to talk about those, and then how we can maybe something you can leave with everybody.
A little takeaway.
Little takeaway.
Well, amazing. I love events, and I didn't always. I didn't always. I really didn't. I didn't want to walk in a room of people I didn't know. I mean, I went to events as part of events in the medical industry and the health and wellness industry, and then on the entrepreneurial journey, I walked into a room and I was really super uncomfortable. I just wanted to leave right away. I mean, there were like, I don't know, 200 people in there. And I was like, I don't know these 200 people. I want to leave now. But then I did go again. And it's really important to get yourself into a spot where you feel uncomfortable and you do it anyway, because that's where the breakthrough happens.
Yeah.
But then I went to another conference, and by that time I had grown more and I had built up my confidence more. And I went to another conference, and that conference changed my life. And from that point on, a light bulb went off, and I said I want to do that. I want to bring together powerful experts and speakers in different parts of life and business, because I love the world of small business, entrepreneurship, people that are really driven to serve and make a difference in the world, creatives. I love it. And so because of that, I started putting on events. If I put on events in the medical industry, I knew I could put on events with entrepreneurs, and it would be fun, and I could use all my creativity and share these amazing messages. So I do produce events. I knew that starting a business later in life, as I became a business coach, that you want to go from one to one to many as often as you can, because you won't have enough energy to go ahead and have all the conversations one-on-one.
Yes.
So if you can have a bigger conversation with more people and expand.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And that's why I produce events and also books. Like we have our second anthology book that just launched this week called Becoming You, Self-Image, Identity, and Reinvention, all the things that I'm most passionate about, where 15 authors came together, shared their story and their expertise and their resources to make a bigger difference. And as a platform, because, you can write a book. A lot of people, more than 85% of the population, want to write a book and never do.
Right.
Which is why I spearhead with my publishing partner, producing these books to make it easier. You just have to write your chapter and then it's turnkey for you.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, one chapter. You can write 12 to 15 pages.
Yeah.
And then leave your legacy, something that lives longer than your physical life.
Love it.
I love that.
So there's that. And now you got to tell people about your book. So the 85% of the people that don't write their book, or 90 or 95%, it's a very high number, that never write the book that's inside of them. Then you write a book, and now what? Then you got to get out there and you got to talk about it, market it. People don't like to do that. So I create the platforms for them and put them on a stage, give them a microphone so that they can share the story that they just wrote
Nice.
to reach more people.
Love
Good.
that. Love that.
So good.
Yeah. And so that event where those artists or authors, not just artists, authors, they're coming to share their story, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Plug that for us. What are the details on that?
Well, we have a couple events coming up,
Tell 'em.
book launches in Delray and in Lake Worth here.
Yes,
Here.
yes.
1201.
Oh my goodness, we're actually doing our book launch here and we are so excited
Amazing.
about the space because it not only do you hear the author speak and tell their story, but the whole community starts to take shape where it's not an event where you come in, you sit down, you take in information, you leave, and hopefully you implement. It really is about change.
Yeah.
And change starts to happen the moment you walk in the door and you say yes to the next version
Yes.
of yourself. So there are two events coming up. One is April 22nd. It's called Unleash Your Superpower because we all have
Yes, we do.
superpower. Having conversation. Words are your superpower.
Words are my method. That's what
those
I
are,
say.
yeah.
Yes.
That's your superpower.
Yeah.
What's your superpower?
You know what? I was
Kelly?
trying to think. I'm not really sure. I have a lot of patience. I have a lot of compassion.
That's a heavy duty superpower.
Yeah.
Patience. Yeah. Okay. Real talk. Like just addendum real quick. If you had a real superpower, Wendi, what would you choose?
Oh my goodness! To take a magic wand
Yep.
and to be able to sprinkle it over the world for health and happiness.
Yeah.
That would be my superpower, to just be able to take that wand and hold it over the whole entire globe and the
Yeah.
world,
That's
you know,
amazing.
and other
That's quite a
galaxies,
superpower.
and say, okay,
That's
voila.
amazing. Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Kelly, what would your actual superpower be?
My actual superpower. Oof. Oh, you know. I mean, it's hard to top the one that Wendi
It
just
is.
said,
Yeah, it
but
is.
let's say
You can be selfish.
I'm
You
going to
don't
be
have
very
to-
selfish and shallow here.
Please.
Superpower that all food had no calories.
A lot of people would be super
Hallelujah.
happy with that.
Wow, I would want to talk to animals and have them talk back. That would be my dream.
That would be a very cool
That would be my
superpower.
dream. Yeah, yeah.
And then we can eat all the
And
food
then we
we
can-
want and talk to all the animals we want.
And
feel
I'll be
well.
happy.
It's a dream. It's just a dream.
We can create it. We just spoke it out. It's possible.
oh,
That's hysterical.
oh
Good to laugh.
It is. It is good.
I was thinking about my husband because he would say, I would just like want to part, like no traffic. You know, that would be his, he would bring it down to that.
But then what would our husbands grumble about, you know? Hey, Wendi,
funny.
tell us the specifics of the event on April 29th.
April 29th, 10 to 2, Lake Worth, right here, 1201
Yes.
Federal Highway. Lake Worth?
Yes,
Or
Lake Worth Beach.
Okay, Lake Worth Beach. And it's going to be such a powerful event.
Yeah.
You'll hear from the speakers. There's also networking. You'll also celebrate. What we celebrate gets repeated, and
Yeah.
you want to be in the positive energy and the positive vibe. You walk in the door here, you feel it right away. I knew right away when I walked into this space, this was going to be a place I had to have an
Wonderful.
event. We chose it for our book launch.
Yay.
We're truly honored.
That's
And
so
I love what you
special.
just said. What gets celebrated gets repeated. That's a great nugget to take
Got
away
some good
too.
quotes.
Yeah, you got
really
some.
do.
We're going to have,
Go ahead,
can
please.
I
Go ahead.
add?
Yeah, please.
Okay, we're going to have celebrity chef Lenore Nolan Ryan
No way.
here, and she's
No calories
a
in the food?
gourmet, and that's what I'm saying. Voila, no calories in the food. We'll have something for everybody,
Wow.
regardless of
Wow.
what their favorites are.
That's really exciting. How can people, they need to register or buy tickets? How can they do that?
Yes, the link. Can we post the link below in
Yes,
the comment
definitely.
section or up on the page?
Yes.
Okay, the link is here, up, down, sideways,
Somewhere.
somewhere.
Straight
you
here.
will find the link, and you can RSVP. And we cannot wait to meet you, hug you, connect with you, know you, learn your story.
Oh, I love that.
And your website is?
My website is wendyblum.com. That's my website.
Yes.
Wendi Blum Weiss.
Excellent.
Okay.
All the above.
That's good to know.
So, final thing we talked about your story, the past, the journey to get here, the incredible impact that you've had on people around you. Your passion is clear. It would be your superpower. You'd want to write it across the sky, how to be well, how to be happy. Your words, courageous, and what were the other ones?
Strong, powerful, courageous, and fearless.
I love it. What is a takeaway? What is something that, whether it's a lesson you've learned or something you want people listening to know more than anything else? I would say even look in your camera and just speak directly to the people.
Okay, so starting with the teeniest, tiniest step. When you wake up, you open your eyes and you pause right there and set an intention to have a good day. That small, that simple, but to create that habit, that is the very first habit that I created. It's that very first moment when you wake up. Don't pick up your phone. Don't run to go take the dog out. Don't go brush your teeth. 2 seconds. I set an intention to have a good day.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
really
get
love
it
that.
started out right.
Yeah.
It's so important. Except I would throw in coffee first. But I gotta go push the button of the coffee, and then I can.
When you own a coffee company, I understand that.
Put the coffee, put it right next to your bed.
Yes, yeah, there you go. No, that's so true. What you anticipate and expect in your day is really what's usually going to happen. So that's
Man,
awesome.
what a good conversation. I feel so much more full and positive, it was a great, thank you so much for being here
Oh
with
my
us.
goodness, I loved
Yeah.
being here. I love this. I love your podcast.
Thank you. So we have events coming up, of course. April 29th is going to be a really exciting day. We're excited to partner with you in that. You have anything else to add, Kelly?
I do. I just wanted to speak into my camera and tell people, if you know someone who would be a great person to have a conversation with, that would be really great to get their message out to help other people, message us. Send us an email. Go to our social media venue at 1201 on Instagram or on Facebook, or you can email me even, Kelly at cglakeworth.org. We want to have really, really interesting conversations with such amazing people like Wendi. And we'd love to. And lastly,
Yes.
for me, lastly, if you want to help this podcast grow and you want to support it as an advertiser, let us know. You can email me as well.
I love that. That will do it for today, folks. Thank you so much for listening or watching or reading. If you are seeing this translated into words, maybe this is a future book of Wendi's. We don't know right now. All we know is we are trying to create some legacies here.
Yes.
And we thank Wendi so much for being a part of Conversations with. This was another episode here at the studio at 1201, powered by Speakeasy Studios. My name is Jeanette Brown. We have had Kelly Olive here. Wendi, thank you so much.
Loved being here.
We will see you next time. Thanks for listening. Remember to rate, review, subscribe, and join us for the next episode.